Welcome to the Deep Dive Books channel, where we hope you find something valuable every day.
This video is about the questions, from several friends, regarding the interpretation of Dan Ariely's Misbelief. Below are our responses, for reference only. Question 1. How do we differentiate between conspiracy theories with obvious intellectual flaws and perplexing suspicious events? Is there a seed of conspiracy theory in everyone's mind, varying only in size? Some influential people like to express it, while others keep it buried inside. Reply. The key difference between reasonable suspicion and conspiracy theory is whether you believe the event was deliberately orchestrated by a hidden hand. Many people think that influential figures push events forward like a chess player, planning many moves ahead, with each subsequent development within their anticipation. They say they will win in 10 moves, and they do. But the real world isn't like that. There are too many uncontrollable factors, too many people wanting to exert their own influence. You can't predict 10 moves ahead. You can't even predict the outcome of the next move. Of course, this doesn't mean there are no bad people. Some people and organizations do have malicious intentions, like the Nazis' escalating persecution of Jews, culminating in the Holocaust. But if you examine historical details closely, you'll find they acted step by step. They often moved with caution, fearing backlash. The ultimate collapse wasn't solely the instigator's fault, but a result of the entire social environment's interaction. As the saying goes, you can choose your actions, but you cannot choose the outcomes. Conspiracies require precise coordination, which is feasible for small actions, but impossible for grand schemes. Major actions require open strategies, clear direction, and ensuring others know the intended direction. In reality, even in chess, professional players don't experience a scenario where every move in the next 10 steps goes as I predicted. Both players are calculating. If they don't see it in the first or second move, they will buy the third. They could resign immediately rather than play along. Winning in chess relies not on predicting one more move than the opponent, but on recognizing more patterns on the board. Indeed, when something odd happens, everyone naturally wonders if there's something suspicious going on. It's normal to think this way, but it's best not to rush to judgment. Wait for more details to emerge before making a statement. I believe influential people rush to comment on news, not because of the events themselves, but to express their views. They are often proven wrong initially, which shows they lack the capability to orchestrate a conspiracy. Question 2. What should parents do to foster secure attachment in their children? Reply. Fostering secure attachment is not difficult. Secure attachment benefits both children and parents, making it a convenient and efficient parenting style. I've reviewed some studies and summarized 3 main points. First, give your child unconditional love. Frequently express your love through words and actions, ensuring your child knows you love them, no matter the circumstances. Some parents treat the parent-child relationship as a bargaining chip, saying things like, "If you do this right, you're my good baby. If you do it wrong, you're not my baby." Some even use psychological punishment, which is entirely wrong. If a child makes a mistake, tell them it's wrong, and help them correct it. Unconditional love is true love. Second, respond immediately when your child needs you. For example, if your child falls, is hungry, or confused and seeks you out, you should be there. I believe most parents can do this, ensuring the child isn't afraid you'll suddenly ignore them. Third, and most importantly, if your child doesn't need you, don't respond. The most common mistake modern parents make is over-intervention. If the child is playing well, even if their actions differ from your expectations, even if they break a toy or make a mess, as long as they don't ask for help, you should tolerate it. The best approach is to set a safe boundary, and let the child explore, make mistakes, and take risks within that boundary, fostering independence. Some parents have a strong need for control, intervening in everything the child does, leading to either overly dependent children, or those with strong rebellious tendencies. Don't parents have their own matters to attend to? Recently, I saw a complaint from a possible college student, taking an online TOEFL exam at home. Before the exam, she repeatedly told her parents not to enter her room as there was a proctor camera. Yet, during the exam, a parent tiptoed in to bring water, believing the teacher would understand, resulting in a violation and a wasted registration fee of several $100s. Does the child really need that glass of water? Why do you need to assert your presence like this? Question 3. Many conclusions in Dan Ariely's Predictably Irrational didn't hold up under repeated experiments. How credible are the findings in Misbelief? Reply. Several experimental conclusions in Ariely's Predictably Irrational didn't stand the test of time and couldn't be replicated by subsequent researchers. We even discussed this in our channel. However, our channel and many later books have frequently cited Ariely's work, indicating that the book's position remains solid. It's not accurate to say that most conclusions didn't hold up. Why is Predictably Irrational prone to issues? Because it discusses psychological biases, particularly how people behave irrationally when influenced by subtle environmental factors. For example, reading an article about old age might make you feel older yourself. These effects inherently have instability. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Experimental manipulation, the atmosphere, and participants' psychological defenses all impact results, making them difficult to reproduce. While some experiments are hard to replicate, the academic consensus on cognitive biases, that people can act irrationally due to psychological suggestions, remains recognized. The late Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman's book, Thinking, Fast and Slow, also contains experiments that failed replication, but its classic status is undiminished. If you asked me 10 years ago, I would have been excited to find flaws in Ariely's work. But now, I have more understanding and sympathy for these researchers. Regarding Misbelief, it doesn't study weak effects, like psychological suggestions, so I estimate its results will be more stable. Question 4. In today's world of information explosion and rampant misinformation, how can we rebuild social trust? Reply. My view on this issue differs from Ariely's. I believe rebuilding social trust is not the responsibility of the general public, but of officials, scholars, and especially mainstream media. Let's focus on mainstream media. There's a paradox here. If you always rely on official releases, and don't dare to voice independently, you certainly avoid spreading rumors, but you also lose your significance as an information source, and you won't help promote social trust. However, if you dare to voice independently before things are entirely settled, there's a chance of making mistakes. Yet, this is the only way your voice is worth paying attention to. So, every time mainstream media voices independently, they are betting their reputation. They are very cautious about this. An interesting example is on the day of the US election. The federal government doesn't have an official channel to report vote counts in real time. Local governments do the counting, and major TV networks tally the results. A key suspense here is that, based on statistical rules, you don't need to wait for all votes to be counted to know which candidate has basically won in an area. However, because each TV network has different information sources and statistical models, their understanding of the progress varies. You want to be the first to announce a result, but you don't want it to be a wrong judgment. So, the networks have a race to see who dares to announce first. For viewers, that night, they'll watch multiple channels simultaneously, checking if one network has announced that Trump won a certain state, for example. If mainstream media remains cautious, social trust won't be lost. But with the rise of the internet, individuals have become news sources, often stealing the spotlight from mainstream media. And since they are individuals, netizens don't have high expectations for them. Guessing correctly brings rewards, and guessing wrong is no big deal. Thus, unreliable information spreads widely. In response, mainstream media, facing the risk of being marginalized, may choose to abandon caution and resort to sensationalism to grab attention. I believe the solution is to establish new mainstream media. In the US, there are news prediction sites like 538, news betting sites like Predict It, and fact-checking sites like FactCheck and ProPublica. These sites are reliable and are gaining reputation for their reliability.
If you feel there is value in this, please like, subscribe to this channel, and leave your thoughts or suggestions in the comments section. Let's grow together and read more good books.